Hey, I'm Danny Sunshine. Today I'm going to give you a tool to evaluate the talent within your organization, a strategy in which to give candid feedback during a meeting, and then an untapped resource that you can use to build unity within your organization.
Tokyo.
So I promised that we would share a tool that would help you evaluate your talent within your organization. And the ideas here, the bucket list that I share at the end of this video, and the monkeys looking sideways activity, all this comes from a guy named Cameron Herald. And before I move forward with these quadrants, I'm going to share the two books that I have in my wish list I want to check out. Now, I saw him give a session on creating a world-class culture for the World Business Executive Coaching Summit in 2018. So that's where I learned this, but I definitely am a fan now and want to get his books and grow from them for sure. So one of them that you can check out is called Double Double, and that's about building an incredible business and organization. And then another one is called Vivid Vision, which, if I understand the table of contents, it looks like it might be talked about a bit in Double Double, but definitely expanded upon within the Vivid Vision book. So in terms of the quadrants, on one axis, we're going to have your core values. And on another axis, we're going to have results. And of course, this is, increasing results, lower results here. High core values this way, low core values. Can make it even more concrete for you, just like that. Okay, so thinking about these quadrants, somebody that has low results, low core values, they're done, right? We already know that. That's a super easy decision. You don't have to think about it. We're getting rid of these people. Low results, and they have low core values. Then you have somebody who's interesting. They have high core values, so they seem to be the right person for the bus, but we're not maybe have them in the right seat yet because they have low results. And so what do you do with this type of person? With this kind of person, you need to go all in on developing them, right? You have to develop, you have to train, you have to mentor, you got to provide coaching and accountability, all these type of things. You want to think about growth here. That's the name of the game with somebody with high core values but low results. We can then in 6 months, 12 months, whatever, measure if this person has grown, right, into high results, high core values up here, or have they regressed into low core values, low results, and then you have to make a different type of decision with that kind of person. Now, somebody who is tricky, okay, that's this guy, and he has or she has high results. They are an absolute workhorse, and you could actually depend on them quite a bit to get a lot of work done. They typically work on their own, right? People may walk on eggshells around them or just ignore them because they're toxic. They have low core values. They don't represent your business, your organization, your school, but they work like crazy. And so the temptations that keep this person, right? Keep them on the team because they do great work. But Cameron Herald would say that they're a cultural cancer and you need to get rid of them. Just like low core values, low results, high results, low core values, calls that a cultural cancer, and that's a big deal. All right, so you don't want them to infect your whole team, just like our bodies, right? If we have cancer, we have a tumor, the doctors, to the best of their ability, treat that cancer, right? They take the tumors out in order to make sure that we're good to go. Now, these people, we love them, okay? These are high results, high core values. Wow, they're all stars. And we'll do a number of things within our power to keep them, to what Cameron would call handcuff them to the organization, right? Because we don't want them to leave. So typically people will use money as an incentive, okay? Other things, now if money's not available to you, there might be some autonomy that you can give regarding the position where they can have more freedom and choice in what they do every single day. But the really interesting idea that Cameron shared during the Create a World-Class Culture session I watched was the idea of utilizing a bucket list, which I never even thought about, and that is definitely an untapped resource. So Real quick, I'm going to share in the next segment of this video, monkeys looking sideways, an activity to give candid feedback during a meeting. And watch to the end because I'm going to talk about why a bucket list is an untapped resource that you could use to level up your organization and handcuff your best A players to your organization as well. This strategy is called monkeys looking sideways, a candid way to give feedback during a meeting. What I would do is get your leadership team around you, okay? Give everybody 2 sticky notes. On one sticky note, you're gonna write down 3 ways you add the most value to the organization. On the other sticky note, 3 ways that you harm the organization or 3 opportunities for growth. Start with the leader, have everybody write down those things. Around the table, when it's your turn to share, stand up, share the 3 positives, 3 opportunities for growth, go around, and then do that for everybody. Rinse and repeat. The reason I love this strategy is because it builds authenticity, it builds transparency, it builds trust, candor within a team, and it also creates a running record of the ways you add the most value, but also the areas where you really need to consider how to grow. If you see this month after month that you have the positive or the negative, right? Then that's something to address or to double down on if it's a strength. And I suggest doing these meetings at least once a quarter or maybe every month. I know I'm wearing something different and that's crazy, but I forgot something super important that I have to add. And if you do the activity monkeys looking sideways, then there's only 2 responses that you're allowed to make when you're receiving that feedback. The ways you help the organization or the ways you harm it. So number 1, you could respond like this. Thank you. That's an acceptable response. Or number 2, you could ask for clarification. So whether that's, can you give me an example of this occurring so I better understand? Or can you give me any more details so that I can understand what you're saying? Because ultimately, you really want to take the feedback that you get, look for the trends, and look for opportunities where you can get better. So I guarantee that the bucket list is an untapped resource that you have within your organization. And here's how you could use it to handcuff the best staff members to your organization. Step 1, have everybody write their bucket list. If they need to do some research, obviously you can Google it, or you can write your own bucket list and share it with your staff. Step 2, bring everybody together. Once we're together, share in small groups all their bucket list items. Feel free to have, as a larger staff, people share things that they learned. Step 3, make smart remarks, be engaged, be present during this discussion, and really keep the discussion going. Finally, after you've had a great discussion about bucket lists, make sure you collect all the responses. And you as the leader of the organization, look for the connections between your staff and see if just maybe you can make some of those bucket list dreams a reality. I guarantee with just a little bit of effort, you can have people experience their dreams and realize and connect that experience to working with you and your organization, thus handcuffing them to you. By making connections between dreams and then making those dreams a reality, you solidify your team. You build experiences that will be remembered for a lifetime. And then they also equate that experience with your organization for making it a reality. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share on social media, and answer this question of the day. What's one item on your bucket list that you're gonna knock out this month? I'll leave my answer in the first comment below. Bye-bye for now.